Well, you're listening to Claira Hermet as part of The Scene here on BBC Radio London. And as I promised you, my next guest is an up-and-coming singer and songwriter. His name is Miles Pascal, and he joins me now on the line. How are you doing, sir?
Hi, friend. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
How have you been during this crazy time?
I mean, just taking things one day at a time, if I'm going to be honest, Claire. I've been doing a lot of walking,
Yep.
a lot of meditating. Obviously, because we're at home, there's loads more time. So lots of cooking. I bought a bike. So I've been doing lots of bike riding and less writing than I thought I would be. I've probably written more outside of this crazy period than I have.
It's strange because I think when you're a creative person, it kind of felt like, especially at the start of lockdown, I've had this conversation with other people, there was this massive pressure for us to use this as some kind of like creative retreat.
Absolutely.
And to be super productive and super creative. But also there's a lot of kind of processing that needs to happen for us personally in terms of our mental health and what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So you can't put too much pressure on yourself. You can just do what you can do to cope, and then keep it moving from there. And I know that you are, when you're a musician, aren't you? And when you can't take that away from yourself. So at some point you're going to be like, right, I've got some stuff I want to write now. I'm ready to go.
For sure. And with all my experiences, they normally come from being out there in and amongst the people on the tube doing stuff. Getting irritated by something really small that happened on the way home. So there's not been much of that. So I've kind of had to go back into the archives in the reserves and pull one out of there.
Well, that's all right, though. No worries with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
What are you kind of hoping happens with the scene over the next 12 months? Because I think, for musicians, for performers, it's a really strange time because you can't go and do what is normal for you, as most of us can't, but it's, especially difficult. So what would you like to see happen?
I think it's the perfect time for everybody to look inward. And I think there's been people that have wanted to start a book club, wanted to start a podcast, people that have wanted to start writing. Like, now's the time. It was always the right time to get started, but even more so now, I think the less we expect from the powers that be and what we can't control, the better. Because I had a few words with myself during this whole thing, and refining stuff, and you reevaluate your priorities. And do I really need this? Do I really need that? Like, I got 6 or 7 bags together of old clothes and stuff that I donated to clothes banks and stuff like that. And it's just, I took this time to reevaluate a whole heap and just try and, like, because I'm still very apprehensive. I'm getting better at it. But I'm still very apprehensive and I care way too much about what people think. But I guess being somewhat in the public eye, that comes with it. So I think it's a good time for us to just lean on each other, but also reach out for help. People are at home more. Yeah. People are listening to stuff more. People are listening to podcasts, they're reading books, and hopefully wanting to discover new music. So I think it's time to just do all the things that you've ever wanted to do. It's the best. I think so anyway.
Yeah, maybe a time to kind of, if there's something you've been putting off that you really want to do, now is the time to do that.
I think so, yeah.
What have you got planned for yourself before the end of the year? Is there anything that you've said, right, before the end of this year, I want to do this?
I've been thinking about an album, Claira. I've been thinking about some sort of album, some sort of EP. I really want to, because musical theatre is my absolute thing. And I've had this idea for many years that I want to score a play that hasn't been written yet. Wow. So to create the music for a play and the play be written around the music. So that's going to happen. I've actually started.
Amazing.
I want to find some young budding songwriters that just need a bit of guidance. I say help. Help is a bit of a relative term, but I've got a few years doing stuff and I'd like to pour it into some people. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to find some, it's very important. Yeah. So I'd like to find some people that maybe be closer to the start of their kind of creative journeys that I could help and
give them a bit of your wisdom. Because that's the thing, isn't it? With the stuff that you already know, you'd be able to say, look, hey, I made this mistake, or I did this, or I did that. And I can help you avoid essentially doing the same thing and maybe save you a bit of time, which I think is really important.
Not cotton wooling, but just being trying to save. Because I don't believe that you have to kill absolutely every one of your snakes. I believe that there are things you need to go through, but you don't need to go through everything to grow. And I didn't have God, if I might sound self-indulgent for a second, I didn't have anybody like me when I was growing up. So I endeavor to be that person for as many people as I'm allowed to be.
And I think that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
We had lockdown. If you know, were to remind time and we were to go back into that space and you were allowed to choose 2 other artists that you could be in lockdown with, who would they be?
Oh, wow. That's a fantastic question. Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Wow.
And
That's
Quincy Jones.
Wow, that'd be an intense meeting of minds, wouldn't it?
Yep.
There'd be a lot of, do you reckon a lot of work would get done in that scenario?
There'd be a lot of me just not knowing what to say because I'd be super starstruck.
Yeah. But I reckon you'd get over that quite quickly. If you were locked down with people and you were in the same space, sharing the same space, same bathroom, same toilet, all of that stuff.
Good point.
You'd probably be out on your bike more than you reckon, I reckon, just to get some...
I'm sick of you guys now. Leave me alone.
That's it. I've had enough. I've had absolutely enough of you. So tell us a little bit about the track that we're going to be playing tonight.
So Chin Up, Head Down is essentially a gentle reminder. Like I've struggled with the end goal, quote unquote, this big, massive achievement at the end of a journey that I don't know how long it's going to take. And it's really important to celebrate the bits in between because nothing is definite. And this period here has shown us that now that nothing is really definite, but what we do have in our control is to celebrate the smaller things. And it's just really important for everyone to try and make their goals a bit more realistic and personal to you, because it's unfortunately a culture of comparison, and everywhere you turn there is something that's being compared to something else. And young and impressionable minds, people that have been in it for a little while, everybody struggles with where they are at any stage of their life. It doesn't matter what profession you're in, whether it's the arts or the corporate world. I'm sure at some point somebody's thought, man, I'm not where I thought I would be.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just wanted to kind of remind some people that it's okay. I mean, I don't know it all. Who does? But like, I'm here with you all, and it's important to try and remember to celebrate the smaller things.
Indeed it is. Now, people are listening to this and Miles, and they want to hear more of your music, or perhaps they are an aspiring singer-songwriter and they want to reach out to you. Where can they go to find you?
Well, my name is spelled Miles, Pascall. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Reach out, please. I've got more time on my hands than I've ever had. I want to talk. I want to share stories. I want to support in any way I can. Tell your friends to tell their friends, and let's get talking, man. I released the track on the 10th to coincide with World Mental Health Day, because I struggle on and off with stuff, and I just wanted to shine a light on that very important day for everybody that might feel like it's a kind of a you're on your own, but you're really not. I know it might sound very cliched, but we all go through things, whether we like to admit it or not. So it's important that we keep talking. Yeah,
it's very important we keep talking. I don't think it sounds cliched at all. I think it's something that cannot be said or echoed enough, especially in the current climate that we're in, that, you know, very often the reason that people don't talk about things is because they think they are the only person experiencing it.
Absolutely.
And once you do speak to someone and then that person's like, yeah, I felt like that as well, it can be just literally the biggest weight lifted off your shoulders. So
it's crazy, because for the first time in human existence, I think, we're all anxious about the exact same thing at the exact same time. So there's some weird comfort that can be taken from that.
Connection and understanding, I think. It makes it easier maybe to open up as well to people, because they're in that same situation and you know they are, because everyone is. So it makes it a little bit easier. Miles, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to play your track now. We're going to play Chin Up, Head Down.
Thank you.
Take care, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
No worries. On BBC Radio London, this is Miles Pascal, Chill Up, Head Down.
Settle down, young man. Let us formulate a plan of action. You see, as far as stories go, everyone you've read so far ain't done. From beginning to end, and all that stuff in between. Now I unsyllable beat. Take a deep breath and count down from 3. Chin up, head down. Buckle up, young man. This bumpy road was never planned for walking. It's a constant fight, and life is never ever fair. From start point to finishing, and all that stuff in between. Now I cannot pretend. It's not easy, no unsyllable beat. Take a deep breath and count down from 3. Chin up, head down. It's not how far you go, but how far you go to get there. It's not how far you go, but how far you go to get there. It's not how far you go, but how far you go to get there. It's not how far you go, but how far you go to get there.
On BBC Radio London, that's Mars Pascal, Chin Up, Head Down.